Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I wanted to give you guys a little bit more time before we go live. Can you guys hear me in there? Can you hear me out there? Remember, I can never tell if you guys can hear me, so I only know what you guys tell me. Can anyone hear me? Hello, hello. Just want to make sure. Hi, Dominique. Hey, Vala. I'm not even sure Vala is even still in the room. That's a nice name, Vala. I like that name. Okay, fantastic. I'm also going to add the Rittenhouse fella in there in this whole little thing as well. I'm going to add him in here as well. Just to give you guys an update on that, I'm going to add him here too. I wasn't going to add him at first, but you know, the broken news is all over the internet, all over the social media. Everyone is talking about it. So I was like, you know, I got to add him in here. You know, he has to be added in here. So I'm going to add him in here. Okay. Okay. Let's get this party started. Thanks for hanging in there. I'm sorry, a little late. Yeah, the live feed is a little choppy here, as you can see, but it is what it is, right? Okay, let's get started. Hello, my truth seekers. How y'all doing? Welcome to KISHA'S Gossip and Truths Live. Yes. Oh my goodness, it's been so crazy. I wasn't going to speak on this. I was actually going to prolong it. But, you know, until I noticed some inconsistencies in this alleged stories of victims, I'm starting to think that Travis may have been set up. I'm not sure. Just hear me out. Just hear me out. I have something to go along with it. I will also be talking about the breaking news with Zac Stacy beating his wife and Rittenhouse as well. I'll be touching base on that too. Okay? Just to give you guys an insert about that. Oh, and please note, this is all alleged. I've never met any of these people. I've deeply researched all of my information. And you know, I have to show you guys the trigger warning. So let me play that for you. This is a trigger warning. In this video, I may be talking about or showing sensitive material about some subjects or topics that may be disturbing or upsetting or may bring forth some troubling memories, as you read in the description or title. With that said, either end the video now or brace yourself. Aside from that, enjoy. All right, fantastic. This is a trigger. As I was saying here, we're going to be talking about Travis Scott and his Astro World thing. The whole thing is crazy. And there's some things I kind of want to clear up. So I kind of want to touch base on that as well. So let's get started. Well, first of all, I would like to send my prayers to the families and friends of those who lost their lives during this concert, and they really lost their lives. However, we need to talk. Upon them releasing the news of deaths, I kept getting conflicting stories, and some stories I think were seriously made up. I'm not going to lie about that, okay? Hear me out. Like, for example, the story of a young child dying, okay? It was a story about a young child dying. Hold on just a second. Let me show you that photo. Here we go. It went too far ahead. Okay, here we go. It was a story about a young child dying, okay? It was first reported to have been a young white boy. As you can see right here, it was first reported that it was a young white boy. And then, later on, it became this story. I was getting DMs and text messages about this young man here. This 9th grader, John Hilger, was one of the victims that lost their lives at the Astroworld Festival, making him the youngest at the 14 years old. I heard him. And then it went from here, and it went from 9th grader to 9-year-old boy who was trampled at Travis blah, 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 blah festival earlier this month, died Sunday from his injuries, his family told local media. And if I go back to these stories, I try to find the social media accounts and these individuals here as well, and I couldn't find them either. So I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if these stories are true. I don't know if they're plagiarized or just made up. I really don't know. And if they are true, again, my condolences goes to the family. But something is not right about this whole thing. Some validation is not. I don't know what the heck is going on. I don't know if some people use that particular riot to do devious and devilish things. I mean, people have done things for way worse reasons than that. I don't really know, you know what I mean? But I just know some of those stories do not check out. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Not trying to be mean or anything. I just think some of those stories are just not checking out. Because I have to be realistic here. Some of the stories that were announced dead weren't. And they were made up. I mean, I really tried looking up some of these individuals, and some of them I cannot find or any proof they were even at the concert. Now, I'm not saying that the stories aren't true, but where's the proof? I also think that this hostile situation, I'm going to repeat what I said just in case people are coming in now. I also think this hostile situation was taken advantage of, and some people may have gotten hurt or worse, but it wasn't because of the crowd. They did it to one another or did it to an enemy. I'm not even sure. They used this hostile situation to cover what they may have done, and they blame this hostile situation as the cause. If I was investigating this, I would thoroughly investigate it, every claim, to make sure it wasn't premeditated. But it depends who's in charge of this investigation. You know what I mean? So we really do not know. Okay? There were also reports of things flying from the sky. Someone sent me a clip saying that things were flying from the sky. But I'm just going to, I'm kind of moving ahead here. But that's what I was hearing. I heard that as well. I'm not sure if it was true or not. But that's what I heard. Oh, and there's another thing. A lot of people are saying that this whole situation was him sacrificing these people. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but just look at this clip right here. Just look at this clip right here, and then we'll talk. You saw the devil making a deal. He was saying, forget about family, forget about friends. He's going to take his soul. And that's pretty much what he did. He took his soul and he became soulless. But apparently throughout the movie he really wasn't soulless, because he still had a heart, apparently. His spirit, I guess you want to call it. But I just wanted to show that proof. And I'll explain all of this a little later. There were also reports of things flying from the sky into the crowd. Let's take a look at that, because I didn't see any evidence of that either. So we're going to take a look at that to see if that was even true. Just a second. Let me turn my volume down. Just a second. Someone decided to call me at the last minute. Anyway, so let's take a look at one of those clips too. Okay, here's a concert clip. They're saying that it was some spirits or dark forms or demons flying from the sky into the crowd. I want to see if that's true. I don't think it's true, but let's go ahead and check that out. Turn the volume down. Okay, here we go. Fast forward here. I don't really see anything. I mean, I did see certain clips online, but I don't know if those clips were edited. Let me know if you guys see anything. I don't see anything here. Nope, I don't see anything falling from the sky. Just slowing it down here. Let's see. Nope. The concert didn't last that long, so it's not really a long footage here. Let's see. No, I don't see anything falling from the sky. No, I don't. I don't see anything. So let's look at another clip. There's another clip. Okay, here's another clip from a different view. No, I don't see anything. Let's look at another one. Let's look at another one. No, I don't see anything falling from the sky. I don't know where those clips are coming from, where you see these black shadows falling from the sky. So some people may have edited those videos. I can edit that in videos as myself. I don't know. But I don't see that particular clip. I looked all over the internet, and the original clips, you know, the original footage from people with high-def phones, I didn't see it. But, you know, again, videos can be fabricated and they can be shopped. I can do that as well. You guys see my videos all the time. I could definitely add some graphics like that into videos. So I don't know. I'm not ruling it out. I just don't see in these clips here. Okay? I just don't see in those clips. Okay? But I did hear in the comment section the last time I did a video about him, Travis Scott was allegedly laughing when his manager was croaking or something. You know, that's what I'm hearing. And his manager said some really bad things about him, apparently. I guess they said his ex-manager was saying he was the worst person ever, and Travis Scott was laughing when his manager was croaking or something. Well, I must say, we don't know the backstory of their relationship. We just don't know, because there are some people, I must say, whom I wouldn't mind seeing croak or burned to death or worse in my face. It would bring me so much joy. I'm not even lying, because they have done some crazy things to me and my family, my loved ones, and I wouldn't mind seeing them suffer. I'm not going to even lie about that. So we don't know the backstory between he and his manager. We just don't know. We only know his manager point of view. So I'm not going to judge on that, because I don't know the full story of that. Okay? I just don't. And then it was the sacrifice conspiracies. And I have said this plenty of times. Those of you who may have been following me for a long time should notice it was a sacrifice conspiracies. Well, first of all, and I can't believe I'm saying this yet again, okay? You cannot sacrifice strangers, okay? Or it wouldn't be a sacrifice. It would be premeditated murder, okay? Again, you cannot sacrifice strangers. Sacrifice means something from the heart, something that means dearly, something you given out of. That's why it's called a sacrifice. You can't go sacrificing your fans and stuff to whoever you want to sacrifice, because then that would literally be premeditated murder. Okay? So no. That rumor of him sacrificing his fans for whatever is ridiculous. You cannot sacrifice strangers. Okay? Can't say that enough. Okay? I mean, let's be realistic here. A sacrifice has to come from the heart. Here's the story in the Bible, you know, about Abraham, whereas he was asked to sacrifice his son Isaac until an angel came along and stopped him. Remember that story? See, he was sacrificing his son. That came from the heart. He was willing to sacrifice his son to prove his loyalty. That's what a sacrifice is. It has to come from the heart. You can't sacrifice anybody. You know, you just can't. Okay? Now, you see, as I said, a sacrifice has to come from the heart. So it has to be a family member, a close friend, a spouse, you know, your kid or stepsons, stepkids, whatever, and so on. I mean, you just can't sacrifice strangers. With that said, these unfortunate deaths weren't Travis's sacrifices. They were tragic accidents that may have been completely out of Travis's hands, as I have stated. And I did hear that he's been sued for a gazillion, $700 million. Most of those suits would get thrown out, but that's what I'm hearing. People are just trying to go in for money and stuff. He don't got that kind of money. He's not a billionaire, so I'm not even sure what they're doing. But they have to prove their stories, and they had to prove that Travis was behind all of this and wasn't the vineyard or anything of the nature. I don't know. I'm not trying to give him validation. I'm just speaking on a fair ground without tunnel vision of these ill beliefs that's been brainwashed into most of our minds for so long. And me, I was starting to believe the hype of everything as well until I started studying the root cause on why they call certain people evil. I start realizing who they were calling and putting in the front line of this whole thing. That's when I realized there's a true agenda in what they're doing. So then I started, you know, researching and speaking on a fair ground regardless of color, you know, or race. You know, I always come with the facts and proof. Give me facts and proof of what you're saying, or I'm just not going to believe it. You know what I mean? That's where my head is right now. Very much clear. Okay? Let me just move forward here. Okay? Now, if he's really worshiping the devil And please note that the devil, Lucifer, and Satan are all different. They are all different. They are not the same. Don't believe me? Just look it up. They are all different people. Identities, whatever you want to call them, they're not the same. Okay? Please stop putting them all in the same category. Anyway, with that said, Travis should know how powerful, however it is, and should also know it's not something to be played with. If he's worshiping the devil, he should really know how powerful this is. I believe these young adults are using the symbolism, thinking that it's all it takes. I can just go ahead and, put up the horns and put up some graphic, devilicious, backstage drops and graphics and stuff in my concerts, and that's all it takes. And don't care if anyone's hurt. That's not all it takes. You can't do that. If you're going to submit, you have to submit. Okay? It's imperative to know who and what you're praising. And you can't be cocky. The devil, not Lucifer, doesn't like cockiness. If Travis is using this as some kind of practicing or praising or some selfish and monetary gain and being very open with it and not incognito, which is what they want, this would explain so much. Or if he's straddling the fence and having doubts about his worshiping period, which I think he is. Or they may have found someone better or more marketable, hence Lil Nas X. Then away Travis goes. He's been replaced by someone a lot more younger, a lot more easy to be manipulated, and a lot more talented. So he may just be replaced. Like, we don't need Travis X anymore. Or Travis X. I said Travis X. We don't need Travis Scott anymore. We have Lil Nas X. Screw him. I don't know. This is all hypothesis and theories. Okay? This is not... I never met any of these people. I wasn't at that concert. This is all hypothesis and theories. No, take that. Okay? He may have been replaced by Lil Nas X. Who knows? Okay? And then I read some place that the symbolism wasn't Dante's Inferno. Well, completely anyway. But some say it's the Phoenix Rising. Interesting. So let me examine that a little bit. Okay? Well, I must say they do look alike. They do look alike, I must say. But it doesn't quite go with the Dante's Inferno theme. I do admit that. Because the Phoenix myth, and this is Travis Scott. Apparently, he's really into the whole Phoenix thing. He calling himself a Phoenix. He's really embracing that whole little myth and legend. It seems. I'm seeing that he's really embracing that whole thing. Okay? I noticed that in a lot of his concerts. Okay? But let's talk about that myth. Okay? Because the Phoenix myth and legend are, and I quote, okay, a legendary Arabian bird said to set fire to itself and rise anew from the ashes every 500 years. Okay? The second meaning is a person or thing of surpassing beauty and quality. Okay? So we have to pretty much conclude that Travis is calling himself a phoenix rising from the ashes who set himself on fire. You see, to be born new, you must be first consuming by fire. Travis was using this symbolism of himself. He's calling himself a phoenix rising from the ashes on top of the mountaintop, I'm assuming. But this is for someone who had been suffering from some kind of turmoil or just bad things in their life. They just been beaten down. Seriously, to the gutter. Just beyond belief. That would be a nice symbolism for me. And this phoenix represents renewal and restore. Have this happened to Travis? I haven't really heard anything. I think he pretty much went through the basic things in his life. From what I hear, he had a nice little life growing up. So I don't know if this applies to him, this symbolism. But there's a point to my story. See, Travis was using too many symbolisms and it was contradicting and clashing. The message was contradicting and clashing. You can't start positive and then parlay into something evil like the Dante's Inferno. This here is Dante's Inferno. Dante's Inferno is not good. It's evil. It means judgment. So he had the Phoenix Rising on the top, and then underneath it, he had Dante's Inferno. Is he saying that he's a Phoenix rising from the Dante's Inferno? That's not how that happens. Everyone is descended down to the ice and they're pretty much destroyed after that. No one rises from the inferno. But as you can see here, people were saying, oh, this is not Dante's Inferno. If you count this, it's pretty much 9, okay? But what I think he's doing, I think he's playing around with this stuff and not really knowing what it means. Travis was playing around with these rituals and him saying he'll pray for them, well, kind of. His Lord or God, allegedly, if he's worshiping devil, he got to figure out who he's worshiping. Are you worshiping the devil? Or are you worshiping Jesus? Or are you worshiping the gods and goddesses, Horus, Isis? Who are you worshiping? You can't be all over the place. Pick something. So he's playing around with it. That's what he's doing. So now what happens? He's going to be stripped. Okay, you're not a dedicated follower. You straddling the fence. You're either in the occult or you're not. Travis should have followed Drake's example. Just saying. Good luck to all the victims if they're real, and also to Travis if he's innocent. Let's move on to the next story. Are you guys still with me? I hope so. Alright, on to this tragic story. How y'all doing in the comment section here? I want to make sure you guys are following me. I'm not seeing too much talking in the comment section. How y'all doing? I'm going to share that I'm live, so just give me a second here. A lot of people don't really follow Keisha's Gossip, so they probably don't even know what's going on with that. They're like, oh, she live? I didn't know. So I'm going to share that information. So just give me a moment. You said maybe it's a ritual energy harvesting and sacrifice. Yeah, but if it was a ritual energy harvesting, not sacrifice, because again, he can't sacrifice strangers. You can't sacrifice strangers. So whoever's telling you all that crap is not true. You can't sacrifice strangers. If it was a ritual energy harvesting, then he screwed that up, because it seems like he was straddling the fence. He was bringing a whole bunch of symbolism, but not completely understanding. He's not understanding what he's doing. He's playing around with this stuff, and no, he needs to figure out which side he's going. If he's going to be full devil side, he should be following people like Drake's kind of demeanor, or all the rest of them. He can't just be all over the freaking place. He has to pick a side and know what he needs to do. Look at Lil Nas X. I think he knows exactly what he needs to do. He needs to know what he needs to do. Stop reading the basic ritual beliefs and symbolisms from people online, for that matter. Go in and study this stuff for yourself. Learn the techniques. If you want to be evil, that's your prerogative. Stay away from me, but I'm just saying, learn what you're doing. Do not play around with that stuff, because it's not something to be played around with. You can't get up in concert talking about you praising this and don't even know what you're praising. You need to know what you're doing. That's the problem with so many people. They keep playing around with it. Don't play. It's not something to be played with. Know what you're doing. Okay? Know what you're doing. Study it. And then decide if you want to do it. You can't be putting up pitchforks and doing all this graphics in your concert and say, okay, this is what I'm praising. No, you don't. You can't do that. You can't do that. Look what happened at this concert. Him playing around with it. He cannot do that. That's way too much. It's too powerful to play. It's too powerful to be played around with. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people. And you can't be publicizing it like that too much either. You have to be incognito. You know what I mean? Sometimes you do have to hide things in plain sight, because that's where people pretty much don't pay attention to. But you can't be gaudy with it either. You know what I mean? You just can't. You have to have people kind of keep it mysterious. You know, keep it mysterious and conspicuous or something. Let them keep guessing on what side you're on. You know, follow the old greats. They know what they're doing. A lot of rock stars, look at them. They do all that stuff on stage. I don't know what they're going after Travis for. I mean, a lot of these hard metal people are some... yeah, okay. I know you guys heard about what Ozzy? Yeah, he worshipped that stuff as well. He did some pretty dark stuff in his concerts as well. He was well deep into it, but he knows what he's doing. See, that's the point. He knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's not conflicting or straddling the fence. He knows exactly what he's praising. There's no confliction nowhere in there. at all. Okay? Y'all have any questions before I move on to this tragic subject here? I just received this in my inbox actually about this man. I didn't even know who he was. I like football, but I don't follow each player. I don't know their stats or anything of that nature. I more so follow basketball than football. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Hold on a second here. I'm just gonna share this, and so people can know that we're live. Just a second, my loves. Yes. Yeah, heavy metal people are very, because they know what they're doing. They know who they worship, and there's no straddling the fence and no second guessing. They know exactly what they're doing. They full dedicated followers. Full dedicated followers will get anointed with so many gifts, I guess, because they're not straddling the fence. There's no straddling going anywhere. You have to, if you're going to follow something, follow it wholeheartedly or close-heartedly, but whatever. Tunnel vision. You have to be tunnel vision in what you believe. Let me just be realistic here. And he wasn't tunnel vision. That's the problem with that. But anyway, move on to the next story here. Okay, NFL player Zac Stacy. Zac Stacy. Did you guys hear about him today? It seems that former NFL player Zac Stacy, whose real name is Latrell Stacy, who was running, he's supposed to be a running back, who played for the St. Louis Rams, New York Jets, Rough Riders, and last Memphis Express. In 2019, he pretty much retired in 2019. So he's retired right now. He don't play for football anymore. Anyway, it has been reported that he was arrested in Florida and is currently in jail after savagely beating his ex-girlfriend, Kristen Evans. And yes, she is white. In front of their 5-month-old son. Stacy repeatedly punched Kristen Evans, okay, his wife, or his girlfriend, I'm sorry. Punched her repeatedly. The mother, yes, she's a white woman. The mother of his baby boy in the head multiple times before picking her up and throwing her into the television. All while she begged him to stop. And the baby was crying. You can see the baby on the couch crying. And then the TV falls on top of the woman as she tries to, calm Stacy down. But he throws an object at her, I'm assuming, and storms into a corner. Evans immediately, after he left, she calls 911. The cops arrived in 2 minutes. I'd love for that to happen in the hood. On Thursday, officials announced they were charging Evans with 2 felonies, aggravated assault and criminal mischief. Sorry about that. Stacy is currently in Orange County, Florida jail. Orlando PD is listed as the arresting agency. According to jail records, if convicted, Stacy could face over 15 years in prison. Okay, before I get this started, I want to warn you guys about what we're about to look at. We're going to be looking at something very graphical. Something that is very graphical. So if you have any kids in the room or underage kids in the room who you don't want to see this, please have them leave the room right now. Okay? Because I'm going to show you a video that's very graphical, just very violent, and it may trigger some memories. It may make you upset. I don't know. But please, if you got to be over 18 or 17 years old, I'm not even sure the age limits here, before I continue on with this next clip. Okay? Okay. Here we go.
Manhunt here in Florida for a former NFL player who was caught on camera brutally beating his ex-girlfriend in front of their baby boy.
And we must warn you tonight, this video is extremely violent and disturbing. Let's go to Louis right now. We're going this one, Louis.
Yeah, very unsettling, Calvin. And even this attack happened last Saturday, and the video is absolutely gut-wrenching to watch. Police in Oakland, Florida, now issuing a warrant for Zachary Stacy's arrest. Again, we have to warn you, the video is extremely disturbing. Here it is. Stacy is seen punching his ex-girlfriend, Kristen Evans, twice in the head before picking her up and throwing her into the TV, causing that to fall over. Stacy then picks her up again and slams her onto a baby bounce chair before leaving the house. This all happened while their 5-month-old son was sitting on the couch. The victim was treated at the hospital for multiple bruises. She is sharing these videos on social media, begging the public to help catch him. 30-year-old Stacy played in the NFL with the New York Jets and the St. Louis Rams. Evans filed for a restraining order against him, claiming he's been abusing her since she became pregnant with his baby last year. Several NFL players have denounced the attack on Twitter, at least two saying, quote, "Any man that puts his hands on a woman is a coward." Evans also filed a restraining order against Stacy, revealing that he was voluntarily hospitalized for mental illness in March and is taking medication for his condition. Stacy now faces felony charges of aggravated battery and criminal mischief. Calvin.
Wow. That was my first time watching it through with you guys. That was my first time watching it. Oops, sorry about that. Oh my gosh. That is so tragic. Oh my gosh. So tragic. Anyway, let me move forward here. Now, I'm not sure of this. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is a financial. I'm not even sure of the financial situation or the nature of the relationship. But judging from how he came at her, as you heard in that video, this isn't the first time he's done this. I hate to say it, but his career is officially over. And he may be convicted for those 15. He may end up going to jail for 15 years. And Evans more than likely will collect whatever he was collecting while he's in jail. Who knows? And you know why, he's not going to get off, aside from the fact that he was throwing her like she was a freaking doll or something. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't even say it. Oh my gosh. But that said, please, my truth seekers, if you're a victim or you know someone who may be, but may be afraid to speak up, please call the number on the screen. Please don't be quiet, because the victim probably is afraid to speak up or can't speak up. I don't even freaking know. But speaking from a previous victim who once was, years ago, not now, years ago, in a violent relationship like that, yeah, it's nice to have someone to, fall back on, or someone who have your back. And it's really not good to keep quiet, because all you doing is enabling this man. He gonna do it to the next woman. The next woman may not get off as easy as you had. So please speak up. Oh, thank you, Lynn. I appreciate it. It's too bad I don't get a lot of views. My views are sad as fuck. I don't mean to curse, but it's really sad. Seriously. Okay. That's the end of this. Screenshot this if you need to. Other than that, you can just call me or text me. I'll be there for you. My number is below. I'd be glad to hear your story. You know what I mean? I would love to hear your story. I'm here for you if you need it. All right. Now, I want to talk about the... Hold on for a second. The Rittenhouse guy. Let's talk about the Rittenhouse guy. Don't call right now. I'm busy right now. Later. Not now. I'm busy. But anyway, I'm sure you guys have saw it trending on Twitter, where this Kyle Rittenhouse, the only person who killed anyone in this Kenosha. It was a Black Lives Matter protest because a cop killed a black man or something along those lines. Yeah. Now, he got off, and there's conflicting stories about the whole thing. Some people are saying, white supremacy and things of that nature. Okay, that's fine. But you can call later, complexing. Stop making fun of her, Rob Banks. That is not what I'm saying. But I'm here for you. But just not right now, hon. Okay. Anyway, but Kyle Rittenhouse, I'm going to read his story here, because I think a lot of people don't know the full-blown story. I think people are getting their stories conflicted, and that is the problem. Okay, first of all, if he would have been convicted, he got off for killing 2 white men. Okay, 2 white men who were actually very violent and brutal toward the protesters. Okay, notate that. He killed 2 white men who were being really mean and nasty and talking really ill toward the protesters. Oh, thank you, Complexity Ken. I appreciate it. That's who he shot. He shot those individuals, not the Black Lives Matters or the people that was protesting for the cop who killed the black guy or whatever the case may be. No, he shot the people who were being really mean toward the protesters. So he comes up there and he shot them. If you don't believe me, this is what it says. Okay. Mr. Rittenhouse was the only person who was chased by Joseph Rosenbaum that evening. Rosenbaum was one of them men fatally shot by Rittenhouse, who he chased across the parking lot and whom he threw a plastic bag. So the Joseph Rosenbaum was the one saying ill things, allegedly, I'm not sure, allegedly things at the protesters. So Rittenhouse was shooting the people who were opposing the protesting. He's being convicted. He would have been convicted for shooting 2 white men. So he got away with shooting 2 white men. That's what he got away with. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, does this matter if he shot, which is true. It doesn't matter whom he shot. It doesn't matter if he shot white, black, whatever. He shouldn't have had a gun because he was underage. And it was told his uncle gave him a gun or something as a gift. It just shouldn't happen. Just the logistics of it. And then there are certain people saying, well, black on black crime happen all the time. And it don't even get that much attention. You know. It's the same with black on black crime. Black on black crime doesn't always get convictions either. Actually, I don't even think half of the cops even care. I'm going to be realistic. I grew up around murderers. I know them. And they still roam around here free. So people are saying, and there's conflicted stories. They're saying that, so what? He killed his own people. Why? Who cares? And there's some people say, well, the law is a law. He should be convicted. And white supremacy. So I am conflicted about the whole thing. Because he shot the people who were against the protesting. Even though he shouldn't have had a gun. And he shouldn't have been up there shooting anyone. I mean, that's a fact. I'm not condoning any violence. But I don't think people know the story behind what he did. I don't think, because a lot of people are thinking that he was shooting at no, he shot people who were opposing the protesting. So I think, but the news media is broadcasting something opposite because they want the Black Lives Matter fire and ignited story and power to push this story into justice without giving them the full details on what really happened and what he did. That's the problem. Mike Lame, the first person who attacked Kyle Joseph was convicted child rape. He yelled, "Shoot me" on camera repeatedly. Really? That's terrible. I don't think he was all that as far as popularity where everyone would know who he is. Most have been only in his mind. Glad that Cotton Riddle was found now guilty. No one. Okay, thanks for info. Very okay, Mike. Yeah. But it is, I don't know. I'm conflicted about the whole story. I just think people should, especially Black Lives Matter or whoever's against, brutality or violence such as this and gun violence. I am so with that. I'll march with you. They need to really get guns off the street, and I'm with you. You know I'm with you, okay? But I think people should really research the story before they make judgment. And the news media need to be clear on what they're saying, because they're not clear of the message they're giving. They're giving you smoke and mirrors. They're giving you half truths. They're not telling you the full story. I had to look this up because someone's sketchy about this whole story, and you know me, and I'm like, hold up, something sketchy about this story. What really happened? Did he shoot black people? Because these headlines are not telling me who he shot, but you have people going at him like he shot black people. He shouldn't be shooting anybody. First of all, he shouldn't have a gun in the first place. But I'm like, what is going on here? Because I'm seeing the video, I'm like, something is not registering here. Because lately, we have been going on a really, positive path where white people or whatever race that has done, not all of them, some of them need to be convicted still. We have been getting a high percentage of justice being served on black crime. So I was like, hold up. He shot 2 white men. Okay, who are the white men who he shot? These white men were the ones who were going against the protesters. He shot them. It was a fight amongst them. you know, the supremacy, white racists, whatever you want to call them. It was a fight among them. He wasn't, you know, that's who he shot. So I'm like, okay, well, it still sucks. He shouldn't be out there shooting or anything of the nature. That's fucked up, you know. But why aren't the news saying the full story? Why are they leaving these things out? The public should know the truth. That's what I read. No one. I read that he shot the people who were against the protesters. That's what I read. That's what I read. Who got jail time? Are you talking about Kyle who got jail time for raping little boys? Is this the same guy? Mice? I'm not sure of that story. My sister sent me a story like that of him raping somebody. I have to look up that story. Is that the same guy who raped? Because he just turned 18. We talking about the same gentleman, or are we talking about the people whom he shot? Is that? I'm not sure. I have to look that up because my sister sent me a picture of some guy that looks like him. I don't know if that was him or not. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, what a shame. Actually, it's not a shame, but anyway. But yes, the media is conflicting the stories. You're saying you're all mixed up. Please get it straight. He didn't shoot the people that were anti. He shot people that were protesting on behalf of the Black Lives Matter. So you said he was shooting at people protesting, but somehow he shot 2 white people who were opposed to the Black Lives Matter? I'm assuming you saw it on the video. Oh, I know Kyle was an anti-protester. I saw the video. He was just saying some really random things. I don't know if that video was edited or not, though. It could have been. I don't know. I didn't really look at it. I saw a clip of him, marching down the street with his rifle and whatnot, acting like he's in the army or playing some video game. I did see that. Wow, really? So the guy who raped the little boys is the one that was marching and he shot him? And he was supposed to be marching? Oh, okay. No one, I'm going to have to research what you're saying. Because you're saying that I'm not saying he's not racist. I'm just saying the people he shot wasn't black and they were opposed to the march. That's all I'm saying. But I'll research what you're saying, okay? I'll research what you're saying. And it'll be on my blog. I'm not going to make another video about it, but I'll definitely research it, okay? No, he did shoot white. I'm not lying. Here, I'm not lying. He did shoot 2 white men. That's what he did. Let me see if I can find it. Here you go. Okay, here you go. Rittenhouse is white. As were the 2 who died is the one who was wounded. So, yeah, that's what he shot his own kind. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But anyway, I'll research what you're saying, though. But that he did shoot his own kind. I'm not lying about that. That's a fact. That's a fact. Okay, that's why the news is not telling you that in that headline. Is because they want the Black Lives Matter power underneath this story. But, violence is not prohibited. Violence shouldn't be done anyway. He shouldn't have had the gun. He shouldn't have had any of that. None of this shouldn't even freaking happen. It should have been a peaceful protest by him coming out there acting like he's playing one of his video games. It shouldn't never happen in the first place. It just shouldn't never freaking happen. Okay? It just shouldn't. But I'll research what you're saying, okay? I don't know about that, no one. I'm going to have to look that up. I'm getting conflicted stories about who was opposed and who wasn't. I'm getting conflicted stories about that. I don't know. Because I don't know. I have to look that up, hon. Okay? It is all over the place. He is. It is all over the place. Some is lies everywhere. I'm reading blogs verbatim, and then I'm seeing different videos with the same clip but edited. So please stop being fooled by the media. They lie so much. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys got a lot out of this. Remember, you can't sacrifice strangers. It has to be either loved ones, spouses, someone close to you. It has to be someone from your heart. You can't just sacrifice strangers, or that'd be murder. Okay, so don't believe that crap. Whoever's saying that bull crap. It wasn't 8 sacrifices. Travis, more than likely, giving you a brief rundown of this entire video. Travis, more than likely, was playing with fire and did not know how powerful it was, conflicting his stories. He was straddling the fence, and he went too far with it, and now he probably be stripped of everything. Who knows? This guy who beat his wife, the Zac guy, is sick, and he should go to jail for 15 freaking years. That's sick. He was throwing that poor woman around like a sick fool. He's sick. He needs to be in jail and need to throw his ass around. That was sick. Sick, 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 sick. And he did it to a white woman, so he's really gonna get in some trouble. I'm just saying, that was just stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I don't condone violence of any nature at all. Alright, and that is it. I'm going to research what you're saying, no one, and I'll post it on my blog. I do a whole little story about it, okay? Love you all. Thank you for tuning in. The 10s that tuned in anyway. Bye.